Paulo Coelho, in his book, The Alchemist, has said that when you really want something, the whole world conspires to help you to achieve it. It's a very interesting truth. And today I'd like to bring to you a film which actually illustrates the meaning most deeply of what Paulo Coelho said. And he said one more thing, Paulo Coelho, that you actually find it wherever you are. There is a man in The Alchemist who goes all around the world searching for his dream or what he wants, a meaning in life. And he finally, after many, many years, comes back to where he used to live and he finds the meaning there. Today's film does precisely that. And to me, it is the most outstanding wildlife film I have ever seen in my life. And mind you, I have seen many, many films and what I want to tell you is that most wildlife films are what you call very beautifully made, high budget, they startle you, they give names to sharks and whales, but here's a film which does none of that. And it is simply very, very calmly narrated. There is subdued emotion in how the author of this entire film actually narrates this story. And that is why this is a wildlife film most aptly titled My Octopus Teacher. You can see it on Netflix by Craig Foster. How can an octopus be my teacher? An octopus is a mollusk, a cephalopod. It has 8 waving tentacles, it has bulbous eyes, it has 2,000 slimy suction pumps. Can you even get attached to such a creature? Can it even hope to teach me anything? See My Octopus Teacher. What it tells is how a person who has traveled around the Kalahari, very, very accomplished wildlife photographer, traveled around the world, gets drained out, feels there's no purpose in life because he's just making films which are, created for audiences and for markets, if you feel like. And he comes back home to his little house in the coast of South Africa, and there he finds a pond only 200 meters wide among the kelp forests, and he decides to dive underwater to renew himself. And in the process of that, he finds this octopus. Now he is diving without his diving suit, without his oxygen tank. He wants to be one with nature, and that is the first lesson. How to be one with nature, to be part of it, to belong, to enter into that world. It is like a philosophical journey where you try and understand the world around you and become one with it, and that actually the film My Octopus Teacher teaches you, shows you. Now when he begins to dive, and it's ice cold, it's very cold water, it takes time for you to learn, but once you become part of it, that 200 square meters of underwater kelp forest becomes a huge world of its own. And miraculously, there is this little octopus living in a crevice under a stone in this pond. It's a lady. He meets her day after day after day. It becomes an obsession with him. He sleeps and dreams of this octopus. He reads about octopi and understands who they are. They're supposed to be actually the most intelligent of the mollusk species, and goodness me, this film proves it. So he dives into the pool and learns first how to try and win her trust by simply being still and immobile, and he can't stay very long underwater because he's not breathing from an oxygen tank. He has to go up again. It's the snorkel that he's using. And when that octopus actually reaches out a tentacle to touch Craig Foster underwater, it is a moment of nirvana. You choke with emotion. And there is so much truth in it, my friend. Craig Foster faces a dilemma. Is he playing God? Because he's watching the octopus actually go through a number of sequences which are part of her cycle of life. An octopus only survives for 1 year. So luckily he's found her at the beginning of her cycle. She's young. And he knows that she's not going to last for a year. Everything that has to happen, if she has to survive, is in this 1 year itself. So should he intervene and protect her when she is being attacked? And he realizes he can't, because you can't interfere with the natural process of nature. Just pray that whatever you see and whatever you're recording is part of the authentic dance of life, the great Leela of life. So when she is attacked by a small shark, he can't protect her and she loses an arm, a tentacle. And interestingly, how does she survive? The kinds of things that she sometimes has to do to evade her attackers, including wrapping herself in a leaf, actually jumping onto the back of the shark and riding it like a horse in the sweepstakes, or covering herself in shells to look like some kind of an absurd rock covered with moss and stones and shells. These are incredible, instinctive, if you may call them intelligent, reactions to the environment around you. And it's not just that. When she's in a playful mood, she dances. She plays with shoals of fish which are going around. It could be an opera, a ballet dance. If you feel like, these are great revelations, I must say. And eventually, when she actually comes to Craig and nestles near his heart, it's a moment to live for. And then when she finds a lover, this is a huge cycle of life taking place, having survived almost that year. He is happy, he rejoices for her, but now he has a heavy heart because he knows she is now at the end of her cycle. Once she gives birth to her children, number of them, she herself will be drained out and will pass away. It's penance of a kind for a wildlife photographer to do this, because he is now entering into a different world, and that kelp forest reveals so much to him, because as he goes deeper and deeper into that, he knows more and more about less and less. And as he knows more about less and less, he learns more and more about himself. And his relationship with this octopus helps him to actually understand the relationship that he has had with his young son, and to transform it and become a better father to his son. Imagine a wildlife film which is now not telling you something to make you aware about the problems of wildlife. That's there, all that is there. It's a wonderful film which tells you about ecology, but it's a film which actually makes you reflect upon the meaning of life and the meaning of your relationships with the people around you, and changes you. It's an unbelievable, magical film. The best. I don't think it can ever be repeated, if you ask me, because that kind of single-minded dedication, that chance of finding an octopus and then finding it day after day and then developing that relationship with the octopus, I doubt if it can ever be repeated. It requires the patience and the determination of a sage. Honestly, just thinking of this film elevates me. You will learn something if you see My Octopus Teacher. And for similar revelations, if you like that, please tune into Sid Kark Speaks every week. Let's share something new. And if you have something you would like to tell me that you think I should take note of, send it to me. I'll be so grateful for opening my eyes to the world around me.